Welcome to Eagles and Airwaves, voices and topics from Thompson Valley High School.
Hello. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Metal Meltdown. I'm your host for today, Jackson. And today we're talking about a band that really got me into the whole rock scene and I think was really my introduction to punk rock as a whole, besides bands like Green Day and like Slipknot. I didn't really listen to too much alternative music, but today we got Destroy Boys, which is one of my longtime, favorite bands. I've stuck with them for quite some time. They just recently released a new album, I think this year. Yeah, Funeral Soundtrack number 4. We're not looking at that one today. Today we're looking at their second album release, Make Room, came out in 2018. And although I don't really have much individual information about this album, I do have information on the band in my trusty little research tab here. So let's get started with just talking about them and their roots, how they came together as a band. Just give you a little bit of info on that. So they're an American punk rock band that was formed in Sacramento, California. I think this is the second band now that we've covered coming out of California. So they got some big bands coming out of there. But yeah, in 2017, they were nominated for awards in the 25th Sacramento Area Music Awards. They got the category New Artist, Punk/Post-Punk. So, they were formed in 2015, so 2 years later, coming out and winning 2 awards. It's a pretty big deal. And that was after they released their first album release called Sorry Mom. You probably know the song that's most popular off here called I Threw Glass at My Friend's Eyes and Now I'm on Probation. I love that. That's great. Yeah, but I think that their most impressive work and really what displayed their sound as a whole definitely was the songs off Make Room. So the lineup on it goes as followed. You got American River, Methatonin, Vixen, BFF, Nerve, Piedmont, Crybaby, Gold Medal, and Duck Eat Duck World. And then to finish it off, Soundproof. My favorite songs off of this album has to either be Vixen or Crybaby, because that's one of their more classic songs for me. I think that's the first song that I discovered by them. I'll go ahead and play just a little bit of Crybaby just so that you can hear what they sound like before I get into how the band was formed. So I'll put that on now. Yeah, so they aren't like traditional punk rock where, you have I don't even know how to describe it, because how I would describe punk rock is how this band is. I'd describe it as fast-paced. I guess their lyricism is a little different than traditional punk rock of I don't like the government and cops. They delve into different topics, but they don't sound like traditional punk rock. And just from that little snippet, you could probably hear that. But let me just get into how they were formed. Now I'm gonna butcher these names so badly, but like to start off, they were formed by Roditis and my Mayugba. Yeah, Mayugba on October 6th, 2015. And they were originally just supposed to be an acoustic project. Roditis was going to play drums, and Mayugba was gonna sing and play guitar. And their name, Destroy Boys, came from words that Mayugba wrote on her chalkboard at home during a period of relationship troubles. So, it kind of makes sense as to where that came from. But yeah, they released their debut EP, Mom Jeans, digitally in 2015 with Roditis singing and Mayugba on acoustic guitar. But not long after that, Knight's mother said that like she would not continue paying for his drumming lessons unless he joined a band. So he went ahead and he contacted Mayugba, and he asked to join their band there. He was the child of Feluci's guitarist Sony Mayugba and the Skirts vocalist Lynn Mayugba. So coming from a family of what's it called? Of musicians, They were just like, all right, yeah, let's form this band. And so you went ahead and joined. And then Enzo, what is this? Malaspina of Mount Eddie briefly joined the band in 2017 just to play bass. And he's actually who you hear on the second album of Destroy Boys' discography. So, and he also performed with them live. So, I don't know if he stayed with the band. Let me check here. I have a little bit of a timeline. Yeah, no. So it looks like he left in 2020 as their bass player. Yeah, it's real handy. I got this timeline here of all of their members, so I can actually take a look as to who was in the band at what time, which I've never had before. So that's quite lovely. But yeah, so later after Enzo joined, his brother Chris was on drums after Knight's departure. So Knight left the band as their drummer, and Enzo's brother came ahead and filled that void. So their influences are like more centered in 1980s rock, like bands like Operation Ivy, which I love. I love them. Got the Misfits, and then got contemporary musical groups like Dog Party. So a lot of I find it interesting that they have Operation Ivy, who's like a ska band, as some of their inspiration, but I can definitely hear the Misfits in their music. That makes sense. So their past members, you had Ethan Knight. He was on drums from 2015 to 2018, and then Enzo joined in 2017 on bass, and then Chris Malaspina, he hopped on drums from 2017, once Enzo had left, to 2018. And then Cunningham came on drums after Chris decided to leave in 2018. And Blake Idle hopped on bass for 2018. And then you also have Donnie Walsh, who was on bass for 2017, 2018, 2019. When I was looking, I didn't see who had come first or anything, but I would imagine that it was Cunningham, not Cunningham, Blake, because he joined in 2018. Actually, I have this timeline. Let me look through. Yeah, so you got Roditis. That's her first name's Alexia. She's been on lead vocals for. Well, she was for 2015, and then in 2018 she was doing lead vocals and guitar, and they decided to stay with that throughout the whole thing. Then you got Mayugba, her first name's Violet. She was on backing vocals and guitar for their entire, lifetime. They're still active now. And then Enzo had gotten on bass from 2017 to 2018, and then Walsh stepped in and took over bass for the rest of 2018. And then he left the same year, and then you had Blake, who hopped on bass from 2018 to 2019, and then Walsh came back, and he did bass from 19 to 20. And then you got their current bassist who's with them now, David Arazu. He hopped on in mid 2021, closer to 2022, and he's been with them since. And then their drummers have changed quite a bit. You had Ethan Knight for a while, and then in 2017 he changed to Chris Malaspina, and then at the start of 2018, Cunningham came in. And then a guy that I did not talk about, Narsai Malik, he came on closer to the beginning of 2018 and is their current drummer. So their current members are Alexia Roditis on lead vocals and guitar, Violet Mayugba on guitar and backing vocals, and then Narsai Malik on drums, and David Orozco on bass. So that's what their current lineup looks like. They went through a lot of changes, but it looks like most of that stuff happened in between 2017 and 2019. But in mid 2021, they found the members that they're going with now and sticking with. And I could imagine that being real difficult, at least usually, for bands to go ahead and try and find different members. But it seems like they had pretty smooth transitions between members, which good for them, because if they didn't have people who wanted to hop in and play in their band pretty much all the time, who knows, they could have not made the music that they have gone ahead and done to this present day. Could have just stopped making music all completely. But they're a real good band. You gotta check them out. I believe that is all the stuff that I have for today. Besides for the fact that the album that we were talking about, Make Room, it was included in Maximum Rock and Roll's top 10 albums of 2018. So it's pretty cool to make that list, and also the year prior get some awards. Definitely would motivate them to keep going. And yeah, that's about all I got. So I hope you guys do enjoy this episode. If you do, check out some of the other ones. Last week we had a interview with one of my friends from the local scene. So That was a great episode. I loved that. I'd go ahead and check that out if you enjoyed this one. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode. As always, go check out the other podcasts that we have on the Eagles and Airways. And yeah, see y'all.